silly dances, ring lights, selfies? Could Instagram be used for your business? Here we go. Let's talk about it. Instagram and you. How can we make it work for your business? Starting today. High five you for getting on board with starting on Instagram. If you're right on the edge and you're not sure it's for you, here's some tips to get you started. Number one, it will start by improving your brand right there on the platform, and it's free. Let's get into it. Hey, I'm Emily. I'm a headshot photographer in Dallas, Texas, and I'm excited to show you this today. The first thing is to figure out your why. Anytime you add something to your brand in regards to social media, you need to recognize what is the point for you. And that's important because there'll be times when you wonder if it's worth it, or if you could take a break, or if people's opinions should matter. All things to consider, but it all starts with your why. My goals for Instagram are different than other people's, and yours will be as well. Mine is to show my personality and my attitude about work and to be relatable. I want people to be able to see how I work and then what I do. That is manage expectations and offer quality, and that I have a professional offering. Why Instagram? It was definitely made for creatives, so you should take advantage of that. You have the ability to show your creativity in multiple ways. You can build your brand and increase revenue, either individual users that will come as clients and business to business. Number three, you can connect with an intentional audience because they choose to follow you. So you're not going to bother them. They're the ones that can make those decisions for themselves. Instagram is a game changer. It's driven by photos and video. And sometimes the video part is overwhelming, but I'm here to help. Your goal is to stop the scroll. Have content that's engaging and sometimes even divisive to get people to engage with you. That's not my goal, to be divisive, but for some it is. And to show your face. Those are the things we're going to talk about and why they're important. Let's start with a few terms on Instagram. Your story on Instagram appears for 24 hours, similar to Snapchat if you're used to that. And you can use anything that you've ever posted on a story to create a highlight. We'll get to that later. A reel is a video lasting over 1 second and they're permanent on your feed. A post is a video or photo that's permanent on your feed. Your feed is the homepage of your Instagram. Here are a few more terms. Hashtags are targeted keywords used in any content. They used to be really valuable and they're declining as people are getting tired of seeing them. They're still useful in a couple of ways. A collab is short for collaborate. A highlight is a collection of stories shared at any time, and you can put them into categories. Your handle is the name of your account. Viral means when the content becomes very popular, usually quickly. And that can be due to the audio or just the engagement that happens right at the beginning, and the algorithm will begin to push it. It also pushes trending audio. That could be a music or beat. Engagement means people interacting with your handle, and a DM stands for direct message. It's located on the top right of your landing page. You can set those in regards to who can DM you. It can be only people you follow or anyone. The lay of the land is how. You need to start with a strong bio page. Consistency matters on both of those things. Your why. People hire who they know, like, and trust. And here's the deal. If they never know you, how are they going to like or trust you? When to post means not on the zero, which would be like 10:15, 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30, 10:45. Many people schedule their posts and they do them at those time slots. I recommend not doing that. I recommend posting. If you're going to schedule, that's fine. The algorithm prefers not third-party scheduling. You can now do it in-house if you want to through Instagram. But I recommend doing it at 10:06, something like that. And who is your target audience? Take a minute to figure out that. It could be other photographers. Do you want to get into education? It could be clients. Are you talking to moms who work and or stay at home? Think about who your target audience is in your industry. Here's a few things you need to consider. This is your landing page, and that at the top is my handle. Your handle should be consistent with your other brand work. You wouldn't want pretty photos photography as your handle on Instagram, but then your business name is Mike Lewis Photography or something like that. Those don't go together, and people will get confused and they won't find you. Make sure all handles are cohesive. And I suggest getting the handle even if you're not ready to start on Instagram. Go ahead and secure that, just like you would a domain that you're starting a business. Your profile picture should be the same photo that's on all your platforms. Make it consistent. Your bio is your about you, and I suggest editing that in the notes of your phone and then copy and pasting it into Instagram. because it'll mess up the words if you do it in Instagram. It's not the same in regards to formatting. Links, you can now put multiple links in Instagram. That could be your website, any handles that you so desire, articles that you see fit. Start establishing yourself as an expert. Highlights, as I mentioned before, are those little circles. You can put custom covers on them and hold them down just to edit. If you want to add more photos or delete, it will retain all stories that you've put in there. It never deletes them unless you choose to. A post is all of that content that little cute arrow is pointing to. Up on the right, we'll start with our name. The name on Instagram is not your handle. Those are separate entities, and the handle is not necessarily searchable by Google. So think of Instagram if it was a search engine and you went in there, you could search for somebody's handle. You could also search for somebody's name. So if somebody goes in and puts DFW headshots, mine will populate. So your name is searchable, which is important. So you want to consider what you want to put there. Also, try to avoid duplicity. So you'll notice that my business type is not listed because it was saying photographer, photography, headshots. It's a lot of duplicity. So I decided to take that off. The type of business is not on there. It's not necessary, it's not searchable, and I'm not really sure it establishes any credibility. CTA is a call to action right there where it says let's chat and the arrow down. Think of something that makes sense to you. Let's chat makes sense to my brand. Those pink arrows are pointing to a couple of icons if you want to just see the reels that you've loaded or for another person that you're following, and then any tag. If you're tagged by a company or a brand, it will populate there. You can choose to promote that as well. A couple more terms. We've already done that. Posting 101. So here's how to make the post work for you. Your location can be added to all stories, posts, and reels, and that's free. It's considered, a lot of things on Instagram are free. You can choose to boost them if you want. I choose not to, but you can if you feel like that would be best for a certain event or happening. Tagging others. Use the @ sign to tag your clients, companies, and brands. That could include a product you use or a brand you really want to work for. A collaboration, at the very end when you tag, you can now invite them to collaborate. They can choose to accept or not accept. Be considerate that content needs to, for them to agree to a collab, it needs to make sense for their feed too. So it needs to have a cover photo that makes sense, that promotes their product, not just of you standing in front of something cute. That doesn't make sense for them. Types of content, photos, they remain on your feed, graphics and videos. Videos, they're reels and they're permanent. Others would be polls, links, valuable content that you think is interesting and could help your audience. Photo and videos are on stories and feeds. It's just a little bit of everything, but figure out what works for you. Let's start with photos. Why finished photos? Those circles are on my edited photos. So if a client or a potential client goes to my feed, they're going to see a few of my edited photos. And the one of me, that's of a friend, and I wanted to promote her business, so I definitely use that as a cover for one of the reels. Show off your work. If people are looking to see what you offer, they should be able to find it quickly. Don't make it difficult. Post types. There's 3 types of Instagram posts. There's more than 3, but here's a few. A static would be a one photo, and that's a standout image. It needs to stand alone, be lovely, stop the scroll. You want people to see, ooh, how did she like that? Or, whoa, what location is that? What dress is that mom wearing? Things like that. The goal, show your work. Your work needs to be cohesive. Your feed shouldn't be all over the place with lights and brights or bold colors and muted tones or air and bright and then dramatic light. It needs to be cohesive. Makes sense. The purpose of a photo sample, a static, is expertise and capability. You're showing them you're capable of doing that. Here's a static graphic sample. The purpose is to connect with your clients and or inspire them. That could be a client quote, your quote, or somebody else. Post type number 2 is a carousel. Think of when you go to the carnival and the carousel goes round and round. That means there's 2 to 10 photos or graphics. The goal, you could show a whole session. It increases your engagement, or it could show a step-by-step process. Here's a sample. This would be more of a photo dump. This would be an event that I went to, selfies I took, my POV, point of view, things like that. And then here is a carousel graphic sample. So one photo leads to the next, and it's all about one topic. I chose to do a how to rest work chat series. I'm on part 5, and it doesn't get a ton of engagement, but I think it's interesting because it levels out my feed. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's time for part 6. I need to do another one. Canva is your new BFF. It is a powerhouse for graphic design and all kinds of templates. If you're not on Canva, at least for the free version, what are you thinking? Get on there. There's a lot to offer. And I'm recording this presentation on Canva, so that's a W. Post type 3 would be reviews. I'm seeing less and less of these, but they are of interest, especially if you're establishing your brand. The goal is to use those Google reviews, shorten them if you need, and establish trust with your potential client. If you can build trust before the client even gets there, that's a win. Here's an example of a client review. It has the client's name, a finished photo, and then the words that she said. There's a few things about static photos and posts that are valuable. Let's move on to video. If you've been on Instagram for any amount of time or just are on there just to check it out, you'll notice that quite a bit of it is video now. And some photographers get overwhelmed by that, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I want you to get inspired because it gives you more opportunity for your clients to see you work, which is the whole point they hire you. Then they understand the process and you can overcome some obstacles before they ever step foot in your studio and or location. Here's what you need to know about stories. They're up to 60 seconds. You can use captions so that if you're talking into the camera, that clients can read those captions. That means the words that you're saying populate on the screen. It's really important because the stats are that over half watch stories without sound. So if they're a mom feeding or a dad in a meeting or somebody doing something and they can't be listening out loud, they can still read the captions. Doctor's offices and such. That's great for BTS, which stands for behind the scenes. Be sure to tag your location, as I mentioned before. If you're trying to get work in a different city, then tag that as well. You can choose any city that you want. Remember that Facebook and Instagram are best friends, and so you can have that content pushed to Facebook and backwards, either way. Here's what you need to know about Reels. The algorithm is pushing content that's around 6 to 8 seconds. That changes at times, so just pay attention. However, if it doesn't fit your goals, then make sure you do what's best for you. I suggest a variety. You can choose your cover photo and music. These are things you can do. You don't have to let Instagram just choose the photo that you want out of the reel. It can be a separate entity. Edit your videos to be shorter. Recognize that people's attention span is short. And like right now, you want to go get a snack because you've been listening to me talk too long. Videos need to be shorter. You can save trending music, and we're going to get to that. Editing your videos, you can make 3 or more clips to make 1. The goal is to keep it engaging. So as those videos move and the transitions and change, recognize what's interesting to you is what's interesting to your clients, most likely. So figure that out and start clipping things down. People don't need to see you walk across the entire room at regular speed. Speed that up. I choose to use InShot. CapCut is another one that's great. There's quite a few now, but find what works for you. Here's an example of editing your videos. So this is clip 1, 2, and 3, and I put it together to make one reel in regards to a real estate magazine. Let's refresh that so you can see. 1, 2, 3, the reel shows you that. I speed up the walking part. Pretty cool. And that's the final. Trending music can be found in the music tab when you're creating a reel. If you find something that you like, follow these arrows and then save it. You'll notice that the saving, the little bookmark right there is black. That means it's been saved, and then it'll populate under music or audio. I'm looking in the future, and I bet they're going to combine music and audio because right now it's 2 separate tabs when you're creating a reel, and sometimes it's hard to find what you're looking for. Here's how to add the music. So I am editing a reel of my beautiful client Ricky, and you're clicking the notes, which is up here, these little music notes. It will give you all kinds. It will also have a trending section now, which is great. And then you can go to your saved, same bookmark icon, and it will show you what you've saved. That's just saving the audio, not saving the post. I only save posts for things I really want to look at later. You do want your clients to save those posts though, so you're trying to get them to engage and save. The algorithm loves that. Again, you can choose your own cover photo. So right here, before you push that out and publish, one of the last steps, and you add captions, city, tagging, collaboration, is to edit the cover. So you can choose any photo and then justify it to your feed. It's huge, very important, because otherwise your feed looks messy. And mine even looks a little messy, and these are all cover custom photos. So clean it up. Mine should represent my client work, a few selfies with clients so that you can see that my clients are happy, and a few branding photos of myself and or clients. You'll notice on this feed that I snapped, I have some covers now that show you a little bit of graphic, what the reel is going to be about. So like Stacy's headshot session, it's an honoree, she was receiving an award. If you were to click on that, you would see the behind the scenes of her session. If you're looking for reels on your own and you want to see how your feed is looking, just click the little reel button right here. You could do that for anybody else as well and just scroll and see the content that you want. This is also the place that you can check your views, see what's working for you and see what's not. You'll start to understand that some things you're just going to do because you want to do, and others is because you think it will be more popular. It's hard to know. Sometimes you line everything right up and you tee that off and it does not go the way you want it to. And there's other times you put something out there and you think it'll be minimal and it goes crazy. So there's a couple of reasons it does that, but you're just trying to figure that out for your brand and platform. Here's a couple of types of videos, how to get ready with me. For some people, that's like putting on your makeup. For us, it could be get ready with me for a session. How do you set up your studio? How are you getting ready? Packing your car? All those kinds of things that we think are dumb and a waste of time are actually very interesting and lets people know about your process. A BTS, behind the scenes, that is you working at or on a location to let people know how that goes. And then Inspire. Each of us has a story of what got us here in this industry, and it's important that you remember that your story is not like anybody else's. So take the time to tell people your story. Maybe it's through a divorce. Maybe it was through your husband losing his job like it was for me. But different things have propelled us in industry, and that's important. The goal of your content for Reels should be discovery. So anybody that sees this is going to know my studio and my clients and see real clients that I'm working with. What is it like to work with me and be in the studio? This will tell you. Another goal, educate. There's something I want people to know or I want to share with them. I can do that in a reel. Emotion. This one's hilarious because I wanted my clients. This is a remix. So you can remix a lot of popular reels that make sense for your brand. I recommend a strategy of some sort. Now, we're all creatives here, and sometimes that can be a little difficult to be disciplined. My goal is to post once a day or at least 4 times a week. I take off the weekend and do not post. I recognize that's not what the algorithm wants for me, but I need to have some margins with my family and personal time. Pro tips, let Instagram work for you. Engage with your audience. Respond to comments and DMs. Even if they're negative, try to bring out the value there. Consistency is key. Maintain a regular posting schedule to keep your followers engaged. Know your audience. We talked about this already. If it's still working for you, use some hashtags. Check out those insights to see how your performance is going and take a break when needed. All social media should be authentic. So if you find yourself getting tired or negative people are bugging you, just take a break. And also, if you're not a show-off, you would say, I'm not really a show-off. Well, again, if people don't know you or know about you, they cannot like or trust you to hire you for business. So be brave and try to show up on Instagram. Yes, Instagram is a valuable resource that you should use. And guess how much it costs you? $0.